Our new merch store has finally arrived, along with the return of the Rotom G hoodies and shirts. And now there's even more. Check out the product page linked on screen and in the description. Yo, hey guys, it's GameboyLuke here, and welcome to a tag video. I was tagged by my good friend HoodlumsCrafty, or now he's known as Hoodlum Callum, in a video he created called Ranking Each of the Starter Pokemon. Of course, we've just, come off the hype of the Pokemon Direct that was revealed a few days ago, showing us Generation 8 and the new starter Pokemon. So, what better way to celebrate than to go through the starters of every generation and reminisce about the starters and rank them first, second, and third. Of course, I will link Callum's video in the description below, so you should go check that out first, along with a link to the Photoshop document. Yeah, the Photoshop document where you can also rank starter Pokemon with us. Of course, all these decisions that I'm about to make are opinion-based. They're based off, my experience with the starter Pokemon and the Pokemon games, and, my experiences with the Pokemon in the last 20 years. So, some of these decisions may seem controversial, be aware that, hey, these are opinions. No one's right, no one's wrong. Some may be more popular decisions, and some may be like, Luke, really? You like that one instead of this one? Yeah, of course. My decisions and my opinions will differ from yours. It's just how opinions work, I guess. So let's get started. Let's start with Generation 1, of course. We have the OGs, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Now, I remember as a kid getting my Generation 1 game. I think I was quite late, I think, because my parents, I think, didn't get my Game Boy until I was like 7 or 8 years old. But I remember getting my red cartridge, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. Some of you might be upset with this, right? So I got my game, and I started with Bulbasaur. I didn't get any further than like Viridian City, I don't think. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So I reset my game. So that I could get Charmander instead. How messed up is that? Young me was a savage. I was like, no, this isn't it. I'm switching. I'm going to Charmander. And I'm sure you guys know. After all the series we've done and stuff that you guys really like, already know that I like Charmander. So first things first, Charmander goes straight into slot 1. But where does that place the rest of them? You know what I mean? We have Bulbasaur and Squirtle. Now, I think, in fairness, I think it's weird because they've been out for so long that I know that they're all good starter Pokemon, but when I try and think back to when I very first played these games, I dropped Bulbasaur immediately, and Squirtle was the next one that I tried out whenever I got, like blue, because I know I have red, blue, and yellow. So, if anything, Charmander easily takes number 1 spot, and I feel like that's not a surprise. I feel like that's also a popular decision, although a lot of people do like Squirtle and Bulbasaur. These are very close, Charmander, I feel like Charmander maybe wins by like a crap ton because, I have that Gen 1er in me. But I love Charmander, he's great. Squirtle's just as good. And then Bulbasaur, I've never been a massive fan of Venusaur. I definitely have used Bulbasaur in some playthroughs, especially when I was younger, but I always enjoyed myself more using Charmander and Squirtle, and they're in their respective places. Moving on to Gen 2, boom. Ooh, okay. So we have Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile. I think straight off, right off the bat, this is an easy decision for me to make. Boom, Chikorita goes here. Now, the only thing I liked about Chikorita back in the Gen 2 days was that it learned Razor Leaf at like level 9. And in Gen 1, you had to wait till like level 30 odd in order for Bulbasaur to get Razor Leaf. And that was one thing I really liked about Chikorita, but that's like the only thing I like about Chikorita, because I don't rate Meganium. Bayleaf's the coolest evolution out of the 3, but I don't rate Meganium, really. I never really have been a fan of that line at all. And when I think back to when I very, very first played Generation 2, Cyndaquil was probably my first choice, but in more recent years, I have grown more of an attachment to Totodile. So I still love Cyndaquil, and I still love Typhlosion. For all the people out there that played Gold and Silver back when it first came out, and you ran Cyndaquil, you evolved into a Typhlosion. Its moveset was like Flame Wheel, Thunder Punch, Earthquake. You were slaying people with Typhlosion. And the joy you felt when you beat, Whitney's Miltank and her rollout with your Quilava, greatest feeling ever. So I think right here, there's a really fine line between these two, between Cyndaquil and Totodile. But Cyndaquil does take it for me. I love Cyndaquil. I love Cyndaquil in the anime as well. I also love Totodile in the anime. Totodile is probably my favorite if you thought about the anime, just because of his personality. I absolutely love him. But I think I like Cyndaquil and his evolutions all the way through, apart from Koala, but it's the middle evolution, so it's like the edgy teen. It's like Cyndaquil and Typhlosion are bangers. Totodile and Feraligatr are great too, but I think Cyndaquil just takes it for me. And Chikorita's just, it's just there, all right? They're just there. Gen 3. Okay, so this, in my opinion, is a dark horse generation. It's one of those generations where every starter Pokemon is sick, right? I love every single one of these starter Pokemon. We have, what, Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip, right? Bangers. All bangers. Now, I think the very, very first Pokemon that I picked was Torchic in my Ruby game. I feel like you can see a trend here. There's like the Fire-type starter. I think that I've just come to terms with the fact that I appreciate the Fire-type starters more than I do any other typing. But we'll see what happens with the rest of the generations, in fairness. I really like Torchic. Blaziken is sick. Combusken's cool. But then we also have Mudkip and Swampert. Like, they're really great too. And then there's Trico and Sceptile. And Grovyle. Grovyle's sick too. This is a very difficult decision because I think, because these are all really good starters, there's a fine line between them, which, you know, places them wherever they are. And, you know, looking at the placement they're in right now, that's probably what I would do. I think that I appreciate Trico more than I do the rest of them. And I don't think I would have agreed with myself back in, you know, a few years ago, or, you know, 10 years ago when this game came out or whatever. But I think in the last 6-7 years gotten more attached to Trico and Sceptile and that line more so than the rest of them. And I don't want anyone to think that, oh my god, you put Mudkip last, how could you do that? That's just wrong. That's a wrong opinion. All of these three, if anything, I would all put them in first because it's again, Dark Horse generation, all the starter Pokemon are fantastic. It's hard to differentiate. This is where I would place them if I had to. I like all of them, and I could pick any one of these three at any point if I wanted to, but if I had to place them in any order, Trico comes first. I really appreciate Trico. I love that it got its own signature move in Leaf Blade, back, you know, in Generation 3. You know, this was the first Fire-type fighting Mon, and in fairness, I believe these are the first, so this is the first Dual-type Water-type Pokemon, and this is the first Dual-type, well, we got Charizard, didn't we? Charizard was Flying-type, but, you know, I appreciate this line. This line was really, really good. I love Gen 3 starters. I also want to mention that Grovyle and Trico in the anime, I love how they sound. You know, I love frequently impersonating Trico's voice. This is that very easy one to do, but I do love Trico and Grovyle. So yeah, this is my Gen 3 one. Pikachu. All right, so moving on, we have Generation 4. Okay, interesting. Okay, so straight up, I'll be honest with you guys. Never been a fan of Turtwig. Turtwig can sit there. Never picked him once. Never had interest in picking him once. And you know, it's funny. I think that's the first generation. Gen 4 was the first generation where I didn't pick. I've picked each one of these once at least, and Gen 4 I picked these two. Now in terms of where they get positioned, because I like Infernape. Alright, another firefighting type. Okay, but it's fine. 2 in a row is okay. We got the very, very cool typing of Water Steel from Empoleon, and Empoleon is okay, and Infernape, I think Infernape, when it comes to final evolution, I think Infernape wins against Empoleon in terms of design and the rest of it. But I did pick Piplup first, and I love Piplup. Piplup is adorable. But when it comes to pitting Piplup and Chimchar together, that's very difficult. That is very difficult. Because I like Piplup. I think Piplup's final evolution, because, okay, the direction Chimchar goes, I appreciate and respect. The direction Piplup goes, I feel like they maybe could have done Piplup's final evolution better, but I still like it. I don't know. There's something that's pulling me towards doing this. But in all honesty, there's a very fine line. Very, very, very fine line. I love Piplup. Empoleon was very, very cool. It was the first one I picked. And you know what? I think I can see what other people are saying. I don't want to let the opinions of others affect my own. But I actually think that I liked Empoleon when I first saw it. I was like, that's sick. He looks cool. Water Steel type, wow, didn't see that coming, because back then we didn't get that kind of information. So I think I'm gonna put Empoleon here. I respect Infernape, and I think that if anything, they are very, very close. Turtwig out the window, don't care about it. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be mean about it, because, you know, people do like their own, you know, they all have their own opinions, but I was never ever part of Team Turtwig or Torterra or anything like that. These two were just, in my mind, far better. Now, Generation 5. This is very, very interesting because Gen 5 was the generation that I fell off in. I stopped playing Pokemon around Gen 5, and I think it's because I started growing up a little bit more. I got myself into college, and I was studying and stuff like that, and I just stopped playing games. But I do remember my friends were playing Generation 5, and when I tried to play it, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I did the previous generation. I think that made me really sad. I think that made me really, really sad as a kid because, or as a young teen, because I've been playing Pokemon my entire life, and a generation came out, and it was the first generation that I didn't like for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't like the engine. I didn't like the Pokemon necessarily, and I didn't like the game. I don't know what it was, and you know, that's a controversial opinion right there. Hopefully you guys can, you know, respect my opinion. But for some reason that I didn't rock out with Gen 5. And it wasn't until the recent years where I've appreciated it more, and you know, we have a Gen 5 playthrough around the corner as well. So I get to re-experience the game properly. Because I've only played those games a couple times, so it'd be nice to get another, you know, experience for that. But with regards to the starter Pokemon, I remember my first pick was Oshawott, I believe. Snivy was second, and Tepig, Emboar. I already knew the Pokemon, I think. Emboar, another firefighting type. That's the third time in a row. Okay, chill. We don't want another one. All right, just saying, no more. But it's a very, very fine line between Snivy and Oshawott. Now, Oshawott. Okay, so I love Oshawott. I love Duot. Samurott sucks. Okay, I don't like Samurott. And I feel like it's another one of those cases where it's on two legs, right? It's bipedal, so it's Oshawott, Duot, and Duot looks really cool. And then it goes on all fours in Samurott, and I don't like that. I don't like Samurott at all. I really like Oshawott and I like Duot, but I don't like Samurott. And I think that's gonna hinder it here because Snivy is, I think, the fan favorite. You know, Servine isn't fantastic, but Superior is pretty sick. And then also got Viability, sort of like X and Y era when the hidden abilities came out and stuff. Actually, I don't know if hidden abilities came out in, no, they came out in Gen 5, didn't they? But like in Gen 6, I remember using Superior more because of the contrary ability and stuff like that. So actually, if anything, I think Snivy does take it over Oshawott because of the final stage evolution, and I have to kind of base it off that because there isn't no nostalgic attachment here with this generation at all. So I think Snivy does just take it over Oshawott, if anything. But yeah, again, there's no attachment to Gen 5 for me at all. And maybe, you know, with this next Gen 5 playthrough of coming next, I'll enjoy. And I mean, it's not really have any reference to starter Pokemon because obviously we do things differently here. But yeah, I have a more appreciative understanding of Generation 5 in general. But yeah, these starter Pokemon never really resonated with me. Alright, so Gen 6. Now, this is where we enter the YouTube era of Pokemon games for me, because my Pokemon YouTube career started with Generation 6. And I can quite easily remember your boy was always a part of hashtag Team Froakie. So I think Froakie goes here, Chespin goes here. I think this is this another dark horse? Is Gen 6 another dark horse of good starter Pokemon? I think for first stage evolutions, yes, but for Chestnut, I'm not a fan of Chestnut. Chestnut is cool, don't get me wrong. Chestnut's sick, but I don't think that he's amazing, and I think that he definitely would take this spot. Fennekin looks great. Fennekin looks fantastic. Braixen looks amazing, but Delphox doesn't look that great. I think the transition from Fennekin to Braixen was perfect. They did. Going from a on all fours Pokemon to a bipedal Pokemon, that transition was perfect, but somehow they missed it. It was a, you know, a swing and a miss when it came to Delphox. For me personally, Delphox looks pretty cool. I like the witch style they went for it, but I don't know. There's something about Delphox that I'm not a massive fan of. And when you look at Froakie is adorable. Frogadier is great, and Greninja is sick. Okay, Ninja Frog with his tongue as a scarf. That is cool as fuck. Don't at me. That's sick. Plus, we got Water Dark out of it. We had some really interesting typings come out of this generation. We get Fire, Psychic, and Grass Fighting. This generation had really good starter Pokemon, in fairness. And if it wasn't for Delphox, I think maybe Fennekin would have taken it over Froakie, but Greninja's sick. Like, you know, Greninja is really, really cool. I think Greninja's like top 5 favorite Pokemon in Japan. So, you know, I feel like I'm, you know, siding with the popular vote here, which I apologize for, but again, I can't help but, you know, like a Pokemon, dude. I love Greninja. Greninja's sick. All right, so next we have Generation 7, and this is confirmed to be Dark Horse Generation. Every starter Pokemon is great, and I think that I have the most controversial opinion when it comes to, or maybe one of the most controversial opinions. There's only three choices, isn't there? So Rowlet, you go here. Litten, I think, goes here, and there's a fine line between these two, if I'm honest with you. I think that's how it sits. So again, fine line between all these Pokemon. Fine line between all these Pokemon right here. Litten evolves into Torracat. Very, very, very cool Pokemon. And a lot of people hated that. And I think I agree with everybody. I let the opinions of others get to me. But I kind of agreed that Torracat should have stayed on all fours when it evolved into Incineroar. However, I actually like Incineroar. As of late, his introduction to Smash, his appearance in the anime, I actually do like Incineroar. I think Incineroar is sick. And I think actually Incineroar's Z move really showed a lot of his personality as well. So even before all that, like, I really liked Incineroar, and I don't think that, I think a lot of people hated Incineroar, but I actually really like Incineroar. And I think from the beginning, I was Team Popplio. I'm pretty sure I was all over Team Popplio, but I ended up picking Litten at the end of it. I think I got an attachment to Litten for some reason. I really like Incineroar. Fire Dark, that's sick. When it comes to these two, Decidueye is sick. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not placing Rowlet down here because I think he's bad, and like, you know, like with Chespin or Turtwig. Rowlet is sick. Decidueye is really, really cool. But like, there's a fine line between these two, because I really like Popplio. Look at him. He's so cute. He's adorable. And Primarina with Sparkling Aria, and it's like what it had, like the voice ability and stuff like that for its hidden ability. Liquid Voice. I really, really like Primarina's direction, and I really like that Pokemon. It's gorgeous, and it's sick. It is sick. But at the same time, I really like Decidueye. So there's, again, a very, very fine line between these two Pokemon right here. If anything, I would do this. I would just do that. If they both take the second place for me. They're basically the same for me. I like both of these Pokemon, so I can't. It's hard. It's a very, very difficult choice, but I think that's how it would sit for me. I wonder how many people are gonna get mad at me for putting Rowlet third, because I know that's the fan favorite. And now finally, we have Generation 8. Okay, so first revealed to us was Scorbunny. Then we saw Sobble, and then we saw Grookey. Now, I think, voice break. Now, I think, when it comes to these Pokemon, I have to throw, you know what? Dark Horse Generation again. 2 generations in a row, potentially 3. Grookey goes here, and Sobble, you've already seen on Twitter. The Sobble goes right here, okay? Listen, Dark Horse Generation, all of these starter Pokemon are brilliant, okay? Grookey, fantastic. I don't personally, okay, so there's a reason. Grookey's a fantastic design, but the only thing that's differentiating it from the other 2 Pokemon is I personally don't look at this Pokemon and be like, I like that Pokemon a lot. I can respect the design, I can respect other people's opinions of this Pokemon, and I understand it. I get it, he's adorable, he's great. But Scorbunny and Sobble, in my opinion, take the 2-in-1 spot here. Now, I think people are worried about Scorbunny, and I think personally, actually, Scorbunny is gonna be what is the fan favorite. When I saw it, I was like, this is the fan favorite. People are gonna love this Pokemon. People are worried about it being firefighting and stuff like that. And people's gripe with Scorbunny as well as its name. People are like, wow, Scorched Bunny, that's really original, good one. But when you think about it, actually, look at his feet. Big feet Pokemon. We've seen soccer/football stadiums, right? What if the score in Scorbunny means to score a goal? What if this Pokemon turns into, or fully evolves into like a big rabbit hare with big feet that are like soccer feet, and it's like got a jersey on, like to support like a football team or something? I don't know. That's the direction I think this Pokemon's going. I don't think it's gonna be a fighting type because of the patch on its face. I think this is gonna be like a football playing Pokemon right here. Soccer for the Americans. Which I'm excited about. I'm very, very excited to see where that goes. And it's very hard to make this decision right now because we don't know the final evolutions, right? But Sobble, I feel like, look at Sobble's face. He's adorable, right? I think that he has a lot of potential to bring to us, okay? He has got some craziness to bring. You know, he could evolve. I've seen some really sick designs on Twitter. But he could evolve. If he evolves into the Loch Ness Monster, like, that's going to be sick. It's just going to be amazing. If Scorbunny evolves into a footballer, that's gonna be really, really cool, but it's not as good as a Loch Ness Monster. Like, come on now. Typings, I don't know what the typing's gonna be. I think he might be Water Psychic or maybe like Water Poison or something. Scorbunny, Fire Normal, Fire Ground, Fire Electric. Like if he's zippy and fast, maybe Fire Electric might be a good typing. And Grookey, I think it's gonna be Grass Psychic. You know, I have a funny feeling it's gonna be Grass Psychic. It is adorable though. Like I got respect for this. There's a very fine line between these. And I think, you know, when I get these games, I'm gonna have to play the game with these Pokemon like at least once each. But right now, as it stands, Team Sobble is my baby. I love him. He's adorable. I think he's got a lot to bring to this world. I think he's gonna be a surprising Pokemon. All right, he's gonna blow everyone out of the water. No pun intended. All right, listen, he's great. Scorbunny, a lot of potential here, and I do respect Scorbunny. He's adorable, but Sobble is just that little bit better. I'm sorry, I love him. And then Grookey sits at the bottom here. I'm not a massive fan, but looking at my entire table, I actually have a pretty balanced first pick. You know, I would say mostly fire, but my fire and my water kind of balance out here. I have 3 each and then 2 grass types, so I'm actually quite happy with that. I think I got a varied choice here, a varied amount of choices, I should say. Yeah, but there will be a link in the description, so if you want to download this PSD and you know, have a play and kind of make your own decisions and tweet them at me and Callum, you know, there'll be a link down below, so go do that. But yeah, also, I have to tag people. So for this, I'm going to tag, let's think, who did Callum tag? Let me just see. So I'm going to tag Faint Attacks, Numb Nexus, Deheated Mo, and HDV, I think, are my 4 people that I'm going to tag. So you guys, I want to see your guys' opinions. I'd be very, very interested to see what you guys have chosen for your first, second, and third medals. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to stay subscribed. And I will see you guys next time.